Need help at home? On Wednesday, July 22nd at 9:05 a.m., Jim Haskins with Touching Hearts at Home will be Adam's guest. You will learn how the Compassionate Care team can help with personal care, Alzheimer's, dementia care, housekeeping, meal prep, and transportation. And of course, Touching Hearts at Home follows all the CDC and state guidelines for COVID-19. So be sure and listen Wednesday, the 22nd at 9:05 a.m. It's information you can use from Touching Hearts at Home and your friends here at WOCA The Source.
Some sunshine giving way to clouds with a shower or thunderstorm around for the afternoon with a high 88 to 90. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, low 74 to 78. For tomorrow, periods of sun and clouds with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 88 to 90. Thursday, more of the same with a high 87 to 90. And Friday's high 89 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Listening to Ocala Live, WOCA The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA The Source Radio. As we are moving through this Tuesday, it's been a good show for you here this Tuesday, as we are now 15 minutes before the top of the 11 o'clock hour, as we just wrapped up with Matt Gibbs, Sunrise Automotive, Auto Repair with Personal Care, as we were discussing some fun topics there. Thanks to the callers calling in, as we are going to round out our show here with On This Day in History, as we take a look back at certain events that have happened on this day in history going back to 1931. And remember, these are all just to kind of keep the conversation rolling, as we've made so much history in this year of 2020. It's the idea of reflecting on what we've seen in the past through our great nation and the world, what we've dealt with, moving on into more and more of our future as we deal with stuff that we have in the past and move to look towards the future, but resemble and learn from things that we've been through before. So on this day, July 21st, 1931, as we go back to 1931, in the city of Chicago, which has one of the most modern opera houses in the United States at the time, back in 1931, it says, in the city of Chicago, which has one of the most modern opera houses in the U.S., cannot pay its 14,000 teachers their salaries due to run out of money, as school payrolls have now been paid for 2 months, and many have not been paid for 2 months, as school payrolls have not been paid for 2 months, and many of the teachers are facing severe hardship, including losing their homes. School boards have no money because property owners are behind with their payments due to large numbers of being unemployed, obviously at the time of the Great Depression, as one of those struggling times within America. As we move on to 1944, as we mentioned on this day, July 21st, 1944, American Marines land on Guam in the Mariana Islands, Pacific Ocean, to gain back control of the island, which had been taken by the Japanese shortly after the attacks on Pearl Harbor. As we know, we still got stations out there in Guam. And a little shout out to the extended family that I know are in the Coast Guard. And we thank them for their service, that are actually going to be moving to Guam to do their service. As I do hear it's beautiful out there in the Pacific Ocean. But it was in 1944 on this day that American Marines landed on and took Guam as part of the Mariana Islands, Pacific Ocean. It's gained back control. As we move to 1950 on this day, July 21st, 1950, as food prices and prices for other commodities have been increasing at an alarming rate, and government investigation has blamed a number of factors causing the increases. Back in 1950, the idea of the increase was hoarding due to concerns over the Korean War, as profiteering by many companies and increased cost of raw materials, as mentioned overall. Crazy there. Good morning, Joe. How you doing,
Hey,
partner?
in the top of the morning to you, what's left of it. So, yeah, good day today.
Yeah, it's been a good day.
Good. It's a good day today. It's going to be hotter than the heavens over here, but that's all right.
Hotter than Hades.
Needless to say,
Needless to
97
say.
degrees again, but that's all right. That's Florida.
That's Florida.
But we're not even to August yet.
Yet. That's okay. We had a nice May. That's what I always think to myself. It still felt like spring at certain
I had
times
to
in
cut
May.
the grass.
Did you get it done?
Early in the morning, yeah. Well, you got to get it. Yeah, I don't cut grass. When 88 and above, I don't cut grass. So I
That's
cut
a
it in the
cutoff.
70s in the morning. You know, it doesn't take long to, and it looks like dry hay already.
Yeah.
But in the morning, it still has all the dew on the grass. So you're cutting, you're mulching it because I have mulching blades on the lawnmower. Then it comes out in clumps. So
Yeah.
you got to redo the clumps, otherwise it looks like
Yeah.
there's cow patties all over you.
Yeah. Yeah. As you mentioned, Florida on this day in history, partner, in 1969. We talked about it yesterday.
69, that's landing on the moon.
Oh, that's right. 51 years ago, as of yesterday, we landed on the moon. Today, Apollo 11 astronauts departed from the moon on this day in history after making history with the first man visiting and walking on the moon's surface. As it's estimated, did you know this? Over 500 million people around the world watched
I was one of them.
that history unfold.
I was one of 69. I was one more year and I would graduate from high school. So
Oh, is that right?
I was a junior in high. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Where were you when you were at the
Connecticut.
parents' house? Parents' house there watching it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's on one, and then one, and it was like, ooh. And now and then these people, you know, the people have nothing. Oh, it was all done in Hollywood. I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe they had a set there to practice, you know, when they were on tethers, and then they went underwater to give them that feeling of everything. But no.
Yeah.
No.
This one's pretty crazy here, partner, on this day in history. 1980, it was all 19 and 20-year-old men are required to register for the draft.
In 80?
Yeah, in 1980. This followed Proclamation 4771,
Okay.
registration under the Military Selective Service Act signed by
okay.
President Jimmy Carter,
yeah.
as it reestablished the Selective Service registration requirement for all 18 to 26-year-old male citizens born on or after January 1st, 1960.
Yeah.
And the Selective Service Act from that point on when I...
Well, I was drafted, quote unquote, and then of course,
Right.
then I joined the Navy, but you had your numbers between 1 and 366
Yeah.
leap year, you know.
Yeah.
And all you do is call the 1-800 line, and they would tell you what your number was. And if you're over, I think they was like, if you're over 165, you had a good chance, maybe. Anything from 200 up, you know, you're not going to get it.
You're not going to get it.
My number was 3.
Yep. There's a lot of stories that I've heard like that,
Yeah,
that were those, and then it's
And
like...
then I
yeah.
waited an hour and I called the number again, still 3. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping they made a mistake.
Yeah. This one's kind of neat here. As
What?
we move on, 1997, on this day in history, the USS Constitution. Thousands had watched as the USS Constitution, known as Old Ironsides,
Oh, the one in Boston.
it celebrated 200 years by sailing from Marblehead, Massachusetts, under its own power for the first time in 116
I didn't know it was seaworthy. I thought it
years.
was just on display.
That's right, yeah, but it did. Maybe it was for that. Like maybe they made it seaworthy just to get that done. And
Can you imagine that?
Man.
Because the boards.
Yeah.
And that's tar in between the boards.
yeah.
Holding the water out and everything. The boards are tight. Then they put the tar in and everything.
Yeah.
There is a Lady Washington in the state of Washington. Was the ship that they actually used on the Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and I got to go on that ship when I was in Washington for a month.
Oh, that's
for a
pretty
little
cool.
time. And they were there to make it authentic. They were there pushing the tar, and they were working it. They were up on top and everything. It was the old time ship, right?
Yeah.
But then she says, well, you have to look very closely. As they're going up, they got safety wires where they hook on. Still got to have the safety, even, you know, for nowadays.
Right.
And she says, and we went down below decks, everything. She says, everything's authentic except for at the tail. Tail's the back end of the ship. There's a diesel engine hidden below.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, just for emergencies. And they did use it because they had to go around the Cape of Good Hope or something to get to where they were filming Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
The rudder broke.
Oh, is that right?
And you steer with the rudder.
Yeah. Oh,
so
man.
they had to pull in, but Diesel took over, and they brought it into where they had to go to get it fixed. But
Oh, wow.
at that time, the ship looks big until you get a man my size in it.
Yeah.
No, not a lot of room there, fella.
Yeah. Speaking of ships, I've been meaning to ask you, when you were on the carrier for the time that you were in the service, did you have some rough days at sea?
Oh yeah, we went through a hurricane.
Oh, was that right? Oh,
yeah.
holy cow.
It was.
Oh, holy cow.
It was. The wind was coming sideways. That was number one. And I was 20 years old? Yeah, about 20. I went in. Yeah, I was 20 years old, and we went back and forth with the ship,
Yeah.
And when you walk, and they call it the bulkheads.
Yeah.
When you walk down, we know it as a hallway as a civilian, but a bulkhead. When you have to push yourself off the bulkhead, take 4 steps and push again because the ship is on almost a 45-degree angle. Something's up.
Oh, wow. Man.
But yeah, and this ship doesn't. It takes a lot to do that to an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
So I was a kid. I went up to the hangar deck, and the hangar deck is where they have all the planes hunkered down.
Yeah.
And they're all down there, and they very seldom close the big doors. These doors are like 25 feet high.
Because it takes them a long time to close those doors or anything like it. And it's not advantageous if they're, because they continuously work to get another airplane out, another plane in, do what they do.
The plane goes out on the platform and rises on the big elevator and goes up on the flight deck.
Yeah.
So it's down there, and the doors are all closed except for, I guess it was about 2-foot opening at the end.
Yeah.
I guess so the suction or whatever. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So I had to see so I walked right by the door, and I'm looking outside, and the wind is sideways. I mean, there's a hurricane out there, and I'm looking at it out the door. I'm going,
oh, man.
Then I went back down.
Yeah.
I got the heck out. But I wanted what the heck was going on, and I mean, we were in it, but of course the captain knew how to do the ship. Thank you, Captain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was something. It was something to be in.
Did that ever, with you being out at sea, did that ever spawn you to be like, man, I want to get into some sailing, or I want a boat?
Yeah. A pontoon. Yeah.
Oh, the party barge. Party barge, if you will.
Well, it's more stable.
Yeah. Easy. That's the weekend relaxer.
Yeah. Well, it moved. I had a big one. I had in Bennington.
Yeah.
And it moved. It moved when it wanted to, but it was a couple of times, as they say, I had to turn into the wave because there was no wave. I was on a lake, but this guy came by with this big boat.
Yeah.
And he decided he was going to do one of the sideways, and I just seen the wave coming. I just got to turn into it, and you boom, 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 like over bumps.
Yeah.
Well, you can capsize one of those damn things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's hard, but
that's right.
Well, I was in a canal going out wherever, and you're supposed to go, no wake. And this son of a gun came by me, and all I seen was the bottom of the hull. So you can figure how fast he was going, turning. I'm going, oh! And I had to turn quick, rev the motor up, turn quick, and head in, going across the channel, just so he wouldn't capsize me or push me into one of the docks and break everything.
Oh, yeah.
So I did that, and then, as soon as I did that, I had to turn the other way and go in the same direction he was going, just in case somebody else was coming behind him. I mean,
right?
Could have been 2 of them. Luckily, there wasn't. But that would have been a mess.
Whew.
That would have been a mess. But yeah,
crazy.
I played with a catamaran a couple of times.
Yeah,
with the pull the ropes and the sail and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was more agile when I was younger. Now I'll watch somebody else do it. Yeah, on a small lake we did that. Yeah, that's
pretty good. Yeah. See, I it's kind of interesting. Like if you're a pilot, there's other requisites. Like if you're a pilot, then you either sail a boat, ride a motorcycle, play golf, or scuba dive.
So you're
or
all
of
three
them.
of those.
So
scuba dive?
No, not yet. I'd like to get scuba certified. So
I know you rode
play golf and rode a motorcycle. And the other thing I'd like to have done is try to do some sailing. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's my second passion.
Yeah.
That's my second passion in life.
Oh, your second passion is golf?
Yep.
Any good at it though?
Yep.
Oh well, that's good.
I'd like to think I am.
Well, par is what, 72, right? A normal course.
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean,
and the handicap is what?
Yeah, so my handicap's around 10, so it's not great. But
so you can go
I'm
up
working,
to 82 and still get a 72.
Well, that's you're just saying how on average how many strokes you are over a par when you play.
Is that
They
pretty
put you
good?
in,
I'm not promoting
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's a work in progress, though, getting better.
Hey, I do 72 every time, the first 9.
Awesome. As we're making our way here now to the top of the 11 o'clock hour for this Tuesday here for AM Ocala Live, as we've always got a good show for you for the Tuesdays, as the Paddock Mall's opening here up in a few minutes here at 11.
Yeah.
So we're broadcasting to you live from it. As we say here for Tuesday, a little special thanks to Caroline Baldwin, for Matt Gibbs, Sunrise Automotive, and for Tish for getting us on this day in history, and thanks to Galen, Life South Community Blood Centers, as out there at the retirement community of Stone Creek will be the Bloodmobile today, as they ask you to get out there, give the gift of life, donate blood. And as also the convalescent plasma that is being so much more talked about in the treatment of COVID-19 and everything else, as now Life South is testing all successful blood donors for the COVID-19 antibodies, as we ask you to get out there and donate the convalescent plasma for the treatment of COVID-19. We got a good show for you tomorrow for Wednesday, rolling right through this July week here for you, with a 60% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms for today. And now we're getting up there in temperature, now 87 degrees. Yeah, and as we say, thank you guys for listening. I'm your host, Adam McKillen. Thanks for Joe. And until tomorrow, goodbye.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
A U.S. Senate hearing